Okay, as we go through our next step, we need to do a little bit more planning about where our stitches are going to go. So right now I'm through the back of my book. I am now going to go up from the back. And if you have trouble finding the spot, just open your book a little bit and just start working the thread through the holes as you go, or working the needle through the thread. And I'm just being careful. I want to make sure that I'm going through the original holes. That'll just make my end result look better. And again, we're working through the pages. Sometimes I get stuck, and that's okay. We're just patient and continuing to go through. I hope you can see that. Okay, so because this is just a thicker part of the needle, it just needs a little help sometimes dragging the thread all the way through. And we're just gonna work slowly and patiently. Okay. So you can kind of see how, and if things like this happen, just pull on the thread to straighten it a bit. And sometimes you'll have a little turn in the thread. That's not a super big deal, unless you don't want it. Then you can just kind of mess with the thread, and you could even untwist it from the other side. And again, just kind of tug it, make sure it's good and tight. Okay, so now we are up on the other side. We are going to go under, we're gonna wrap around, so this is the top, and I have my thread poking out. We're gonna wrap around and go back through this hole. This will be kind of snug because of the fact that we have just gone through it, and so now the holes are full of thread. So we're just gonna be really careful. Use some pressure and get that needle through. You're always gonna wanna be careful with a needle, especially one this size. Be careful, be thoughtful as you go. Be thoughtful about where your needle is pointed, who it's pointed at, just be careful. So again, working through it, trying to get my needle through the book. And as much as this is kind of tedious through this portion, it does ensure that you have a nice tight together book. And you really won't regret it. And if you put in the time, it's like anything else. If you put in the time, the craftsmanship will show, and you can be really proud of what you've made. Okay, so I'm through, and I am tightening my book up. And I'm pushing a little stitch together just because it looks tidier that way. Okay, so again, I'm through the same top. I'm going to again go through the back, but what I'm going to do is make another loop around this way, and I'm going to go back through that same hole. This is going to keep the book tight and these pages together instead of like wiggling around. So we're going to go back through the same hole again. Gonna be a tight squeeze. Okay, now that has kind of loosened up my stitch, but that's okay, we can tighten it. Once we get this through, we can pull it tighter, and that will kind of like get it back tight again. Okay. And because I can see that I'm not through on that side, I'm just gonna start working the pages, pulling on the needle, and kind of gently separating the pages so that I can see where I'm at. Again, really careful. We are trying to avoid bloodshed today and every day. Just a good thing to live by. Okay. Now then, I have a good stitch here, but it's very saggy, so we just need to pull it on tight and straighten it up. Pull tight again. Okay, so you can kind of see the binding starting to take shape like this one. Again, this is not perfect, and that's okay. We just want to do the very best job that we can and really just invest in the craftsmanship. Okay, so we're gonna go back through the very first hole that we made. And I am pretty confident on where this needle's going through. So there I go, through it. I'm gonna continue to work this. I'm going to do the same thing on this side that I did on this side. So when we come back, I will show you how to finish off your book. Thank you so much.